Tansy Aspinall's childhood was unlike most. Growing up at Howlett's Wild Animal Park in England, she was surrounded by wild animals, including two western lowland gorillas, Jalta and Bims. These gorillas weren't in the zoo to entertain. They were orphans, sick, or injured animals being rehabilitated to eventually return to the wild. Tansy's father, Damien Aspinall, was a renowned environmentalist who believed in fostering deep connections between humans and animals to create the next generation of passionate conservationists. From an early age, Tansy formed a special bond with Jalta and Bims. Despite their imposing size, the gorillas were gentle with the young girl. Tansy even learned to walk with Jalta's support, and the three of them spent countless hours playing, laughing, and forming a unique connection that transcended the human-animal divide. Her father often filmed their interactions to show that wild animals, treated with respect, could form meaningful relationships with humans. For Tansy, the gorillas were not just animals, they were friends and teachers. Her father gifted her a necklace with a gorilla-shaped pendant on her birthday, symbolizing the deep bond she shared with the gorillas and her future responsibility to protect them. But as Tansy grew older, reality set in. Jalta and Bims, though once her playmates, needed to return to the wild. They were no longer suited for a life in captivity, and her father was determined to release them back to the jungle where they belonged. The day they left was heart-wrenching for Tansy. She understood it was for the best, but it didn't make the farewell any easier. With a heavy heart, she said goodbye, watching as the trucks carrying her friends disappeared into the distance. Years passed, and Tansy focused on her education, diving deeper into conservation. Though her childhood was filled with joy, the longing for her gorilla friends never faded. She carried with her the hope of one day seeing them again in their natural habitat. Determined to find out how Jalta and Bims were adjusting to life in the wild, Tansy organized an expedition to the remote jungle where they had been released. She and a team of conservationists and biologists set off on a long journey to track the gorillas. As they ventured deeper into the jungle, memories of her childhood with Jalta and Bims flooded her mind. After several days of searching, a breakthrough came on a rainy afternoon. The team spotted movement in the dense jungle. Tansy's heart raced as she spotted a large gorilla emerging from the foliage. Her eyes locked with the creatures, and within moments she recognized Bims. Though they hadn't seen each other in years, there was an undeniable connection. Bims paused and watched Tansy closely. She called out softly, "Bims, it's me, Tansy." For a tense moment, they stared at each other. Tansy wasn't sure if Bims remembered her, but then he took a few steps closer. The group held their breath, unsure of what would happen next. Then, in an unexpected moment of recognition, Bims reached out a hand to Tansy. She hesitated for only a moment before gently touching it. Tears filled her eyes as she realized her old friend remembered her. The reunion was emotional as Bims carefully embraced Tansy. It was a rare and moving moment, showing the deep bond they once shared. The team stood in awe, filming the remarkable encounter. Tansy knew that this was a profound reminder of the importance of her father's conservation work, of the real possibility of successfully returning wild animals to their natural environments. After spending hours observing Bims and his group in the jungle, Tansy knew it was time to say goodbye again. This time, the farewell was less painful. She understood that Bims had found his place in the wild, and though their paths would never cross again, she was proud of the role her family's efforts had played in making it possible. Tansy returned home, deeply moved by the experience. She continued to follow in her father's footsteps, working tirelessly for animal conservation. The reunion with Bims reminded her of the deep connection humans can share with animals and the vital importance of preserving the natural world. Tansy's story became a symbol of hope for wildlife conservation, showing that with dedication and compassion, humans and animals can coexist harmoniously.